Welcome viewers to another edition of Brave Namibia, where we celebrate both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians. In our first clip today, Abigail Munalula caught up with Sima Nawa, known as Sima X Speaks, a professional speaker, accessibility trainer, and disability inclusion consultant.
Okay, good afternoon everyone. My name is Sima Nawa. I hail all the way from the beautiful, contrasting Namibia in Southern Africa. I am a professional speaker, a coach, a trainer, and a disability inclusion consultant. I am the founder and CEO of the Blind Spot Communication and Consultants.
Hi, who am I? My name is Malumba Nawa, Sima for short. I am originally from Zambia, but I was raised in Namibia. What do I do? I'm a professional speaker, an accessibility trainer, and a disability inclusion consultant. I am the founder and CEO of a company called the Blind Spot Communication and Consultants. And what we do is we want to reframe disability as a competitive advantage in the workplace, in leadership, and in business. My main career roles. Basically, what we do at my company is we provide training and facilitate talks on how organizations can become more disability inclusive and disability friendly. So that would entail having conversations about disability sensitive language, raising awareness, reasonable accommodations in the workplace, in business, policy, what that looks like for persons with disabilities, and how companies can work towards making that a reality. That is primarily the work that we do. I also speak on leadership, inclusive leadership, and what that looks like from a disability aspect. In business, we focus more on the return on investment when it comes to investing in the disability space. Primarily talking about assistive technology, investing in that space, and how we can make that an economically viable sector in Namibia, but also across the world. Why I embarked on this journey? Well, my introduction to disability is quite interesting. I wasn't born blind. I was involved in an accident in December 2020 that subsequently led to me losing my sight because of the injuries that I had after that. And my background is in IT, and I was guided by my pastors, Pastor Mel and Pastor Paulo, to embark on public speaking. So they guided me into joining an organization called Toastmasters, and this is where I learned the fundamentals of public speaking and seeing the impact and the way my story resonated with an audience was an indicator that there is an opportunity in this space and there is a place for me here. So that's what led me on this journey as a professional speaker, and the results and the impact and the way we are able to shape perspective and change people's hearts and minds and have a different idea and understanding of what disability is and what it isn't. I think those are the biggest rewards for me in the work that we do, when I personally do. Being able to tell my story and accurately represent our stories as persons with disabilities in a way that it is uplifting and empowering. Do I feel like I'm walking in my purpose? Yes. Purpose is such an interesting concept because it's ours, but it's not for us. So I believe that our purpose is in service to others. Muhammad Ali has a quote that he says that service to others is the rent that we pay for our time here on earth. So the fact that I've been in this space for 3 years and some change, and the impact and just the results and the significance of being in this space, I think, is another indicator that I am doing what I've been called to do, in spite of the challenges that come with it. So, some of the challenges that I immediately noticed when my life changed is you don't think about freedom of movement until you can no longer do that. So I was someone who was extremely active. I was always in the gym, and I believe my summer body is still somewhere in here. Um, so that was the first thing that was really a challenge. It was finding a different way to stay active, to try and live a normal life to whatever extent I could. So it's really just trying to adapt to different situations, and also learning how to ask for help. That's something that I really had to learn how to do, is ask for help and being comfortable asking for help and not feeling like a burden. So, and then obviously you deal with things like stereotypes and stigma, societal norms and misconceptions about disability. So you face that as well. But I think over the years, I've realized that some of these things can really be changed or transformed just with a simple conversation. Yeah, I think some of the differences between how I live my life and how the average person or a person without a disability, I think it's just that the barriers that exist for me and people living my lived experience are a lot more than someone who doesn't have a disability. Um, and addressing those barriers and having them removed is a far more difficult task. Um, for example, if I go to a building and they don't have braille on the elevator keys, I'm not able to then access that building, right? But someone who is, who doesn't have a disability, that, if you get there and there's no elevator, you can take the stairs. So the solutions for people who don't live my experience, they are more accessible than someone like me. So those are some of the differences, I would say. So the biggest thing that I lean on, in terms of, you know, when it comes to a lack of access or lack of opportunities and resources, I think one thing that people don't realize about persons with disabilities is that we're extremely adaptable. Simply because the world was not designed with us in mind, right? So naturally, you will find another way, by hook or by crook, to accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. So that's what I rely on, the ability for my lived experience and my way of thinking to adapt, to try a different approach, to innovate, and you'll find, and I've found that things that work for me end up working for others as well. I'll give an example. People think that ramps outside of a building are only for a person who's using a wheelchair. But as soon as the ramps were introduced, everyone started using the ramps and started avoiding the stairs. Um, Mothers who are pushing strollers can now use the ramp and access a building. So we need to understand that when you remove barriers for persons with disabilities, everything else becomes easier for the entire population. How can you go after your goals in spite of circumstances? Now, I will preface what I'm about to say with, we don't all have the same 24 hours. That's a common saying in the speaking world. Motivational speakers like to say that. So I think in order to achieve and get to what you want to get and who you want to become, I think you need to understand and outline your non-negotiables. So what are those things that you will not negotiate on with yourself, first and foremost? And then you work towards those things. whether it's forming a new habit, whether you want to learn to play a new instrument, you want to pursue a different career path, you have to set your non-negotiables. Say, these are my non-negotiables and I'm not going to compromise here. And I think that's a good starting point because it now gives you a platform and a good foundation. Obviously, there are other factors, resources, opportunities, access. We all have the same fight in that sense. But start with what you have, start with what's in front of you, and then you work with those things. My favorite quote, I forget the owner of the quote, but please forgive me. It says that learning is always a gift, even when pain is the teacher. And that reminds me that even when we're going through something difficult, we're going through adversity, challenges, difficulty, disappointment, there's always something we can learn from those situations, and we should be open to learning in that time. Now, it is difficult. It's trust me, I've been through this many times. It's not easy to learn while you're in the situation, but try as much as possible to learn from everything. Don't waste learning from any mistakes. Don't waste trying to learn from disappointment. Don't waste trying to learn from a challenge, because that is where your character will show. That is where you'll be cultivated. That's where you'll be refined, and that is where you are prepared actually for who you want to become. So yeah.
Next, Given Mushabati chatted to Sakaria Ndjebo of Lucid Meadows Upholstery, Carpentry and Joinery, a trusted furniture solutions partner located in Windhoek.
Yes, I hope you're having a good day. My name is Sakaria Ndjebo, also well known as Lucid Meno. Welcome here to shop number 15 in BJ Complex, Mendrovundu. Yeah, we are here at the workshop, at the furniture store, at the repair store. We are busy working with cupboards, shoe racks, TV stands, sofas, headboards, bases, and all things furniture, carpentry, upholstery, and joinery. So right now, let me show you around some of the stuff while I explain to you a bit of my background and everything. So I started doing this about 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I was inspired by my mentor, Vincent Upholstery. He's a Congolese guy. He's now in the States. He's the one that showed me most of the skills, like this double bed headboard here for 1.5 on special. Yes, and that king size over there for 1.8 on special. But I've been really passionate about furniture because I started at a point whereby I was just home doing nothing. When my other business wasn't doing well, I started doing furniture because I was just home. I couldn't stay home doing nothing. So I had to do something for my life, and Vincent really helped me to open my mind up to the creative space of this type of work of art. Yeah, so right now we are about 5 of us here operating in this workshop, and we all have our own things, but we also work together. So we just finish the work fast, and as professionally as possible. And yeah, there's a base there also. This is a base. It's not standing upright. This is a queen size. It's a queen size base. This one is going for 1.5 as well. We also do deliveries around Windhoek, countrywide as well. We use all types of courier services. Yeah, but if it's in Windhoek, then we just use our backies there. Transport sometimes is free, sometimes it's a cost in Windhoek. So I would like to give a special shout out to everybody that has supported me, my family, my fans, and just my clients that have been really helping me progress with the business and get it to where I have to get it. And yeah, Yes, so within this business, there's multiple challenges that we face, but the grace of God, we always persevere. The biggest challenges are just like when there are no clients, when there's no cash inflow, so the business won't go forward. And when there are no clients coming in and ordering, so that's why we're working on like marketing and just creating more demand for our products. And the other challenges is just like it's just working with people. Sometimes it's a challenge, sometimes like within the business space there are people that don't have the same mindset as you are. The way they treat the client, the way they communicate, we have to really just have a mindful of a great space within the business aspect. And within just doing work properly, finishing work on time, and all those type of things within the business. In the type of business that I'm in, furniture, carpentry, and joinery, you have to really look deep into your customer services, customer base, and your clientele. So you have to know which type of products are the people demanding, which type of products are in demand. The type of products that are in demand, you see by how many clients are ordering this type of product. You see how many people want this type of product, and also we are big on quality. Let me just say that, on quality stuff. So sometimes it's a challenge when the client wants something, so to say, for a less amount, but the quality is high. You see? So it's also a little challenge that I face sometimes.
Okay. About my background as well, I said I'm Eddie. Ever since childhood, I loved the work, the furniture work, the upholstery, joinery, and all that. And I was very inspired about that. Till I found a brother of mine called Alberto Nyongabo, which inspired me. It took me from the streets and put me into the real world, which was creating, doing design about all this furniture stuff, headboard. Now from now on, I was a bit okay, guys out there. The challenges we're facing here is that some customers order things, let me say like headboards, different designs, and then without paying a 50% deposit. And then once that 50% deposit is not paid and we finish with the products, some of them some of them don't return back, and which is a very big challenging for us. Things stays in stock, and then some design it's not the choice of other customers. So these are the really challenging. That's why we always ask for 50% of the amount, which is, let me say, it might be 1,000. We ask 500%, 500, which is the 50%. So we start the product
Write the
once,
receipt and everything.
yeah, write the receipt and everything. And once we are done with the product, you all, obviously, you also finish with the amount. And then I'm a member of my brother here.
We work together.
Yes,
And we do all these things.
we've been working for long with Menovanje. Okay.
Okay. The biggest advice I can give to the youth of Namibia is get inspired, find inspiration, and try to do something creative. Don't always just do things for the profit or the money of it. Just try to do something that you like, something that you love, that benefits not only you but the people around you in a positive way. And then you perfect that thing, whatever it is. You work on it. You find people that are in the niche and just start building a network. Just find something creative, be inspired, don't be home doing nothing. And the other thing I would like to say is, and also for people that are inspired to do the type of work that we're doing here, which is carpentry, joinery, and upholstery, you can actually get knowledge from institutions like VTC, for example, and colleges that are in this type of fields, that always have, what is it? Okay, so right now we only have about 2 compressors, 1 sewing machine, 2 jigsaws, and I think 2 screw machines. But we are trying to expand in terms of assets and get more of these things that help us, like machines that help us make more things and spend less time while doing it. So we are also working on increasing our demand. So that means we have to have a wide variety of products and items that we manufacture and distribute. And hopefully in the next few years, we branch and have multiple branches in Windhoek or around the country, all operating at the same time with multiple equipments and machines that they need. Yeah. So we are located here at BJ next to Sam Nujoma Stadium. It's called Mendrovundu Complex. It's a red complex with a green gate. We are in shop number 15 here, where we manufacture and repair the furniture. And you can find us anywhere on the socials at Lucid Meno Upholstery. On WhatsApp also, you can find me on 081 81 777 49. So yeah.
Thank you for tuning in today. If you know of someone you feel should feature on our show, please contact us at brave@synergy.com.na.